Medical professionals are trying to study COVID-19 and learn more about it each day. This morning we have infectious disease expert and MD Michelle Barron from UCHealth here with us. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for waking up with us. I want to start with the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. It says that it could be 90% effective based on early and incomplete test results. What does that mean to you?
I think it's obviously very exciting. The key obviously is for us to be able to see the actual data and sort of get all the data behind what that 90% means.
Now we've talked about, is it possible that this could, how would this be in terms of effectiveness? If it's 90%, does that mean in certain people, or can you give us a little bit more context to what that means?
Sure, and that's actually obviously one of the questions we have. We got the same information everybody else did in the news, and it was a press release. And so the preliminary, from what we understand, is that 90% of people that received the vaccine didn't actually develop COVID. But the question is, how long was that monitored for? How long after the second dose? And what did they use as their marker? Was it just people that developed symptoms? I think there's still a lot of questions that we just don't have the information yet to be able to really comment on.
Are you watching some of the other vaccines and some of the other companies that are trying to do the same? And how do they compare to Pfizer?
Yeah, absolutely. There's several vaccines that are in the pipeline, which is very exciting. And the next one that's probably going to be closest to Pfizer in terms of how it works and its likelihood of coming to market soon would be the Moderna vaccine. There's two others, one by Janssen and one by AstraZeneca, that'll probably be coming forward, hopefully in the January, February months, maybe a little bit later, just depending on how those things go. And certainly it's the same kind of thing with the Pfizer. We need to see the data, but I think it's all very exciting.
That is good news. Now, we are talking about that pandemic fatigue, and people are now trying to stay inside as it gets cold, but what are some things that we should keep in mind with knowing that?
That we can't lose our guard. I think that everybody is tired and just wants to be able to live life exactly the way they want. But wearing masks is still incredibly important, washing hands, and then, of course, the gatherings. I think we're getting close to Thanksgiving, and I think the instinct is to want to hang out with all your family and your friends, and I think this is just the year that you don't want to do that. A lot of the initial upswing we saw were small gatherings among people that didn't even know they had it and then spread it. So I think we really have to be very conscious that the numbers are going up dramatically.
Let's talk about masks real quick. We do know that they protect not only people, but protect others as well. Maybe just go over some of the stats and data that you have on and why it's important that people do wear these masks, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, so we know, the primary spread of COVID-19 is through what we call droplets. And it's the little spittle that comes out when you talk, when you sing, when you cough, when you sneeze. And so having a mask available, just like this, and covering your mouth and nose, that's kind of the key piece to this, is really important in terms of containing those droplets. So if I had COVID and didn't know it, having that mask prevents those droplets from actually going into the air or onto you. And likewise, by me wearing it, if you have the same kind of scenario, the masks have filtration. Even if it's a cloth mask, there's a level of filtration in it that allows you to prevent that from going into your mouth and nose, which is where infection typically first occurs.
So important that we get those on for this upcoming, for the holidays. Thank you, Michelle, so much. Wear the mask every day that you're out and around people. Thank you again for your time and your insight. We're going to send it over to Kylie for a look at the forecast.